Today, we're jumping into the thrilling and mysterious world of NASA, UFOs, and all that secret tech that could be out there. Now, this isn't just stuff you find in sci-fi books. We're diving into the heart of some mind-blowing conspiracy theories. Let's break them down and chat about the people who've brought these wild ideas into the spotlight, such as the different alien types and what technology NASA may have. So, have you ever wondered if NASA's hiding some really cool alien tech? There's a bunch of theories out there that suggest they might have gadgets that are way more advanced than anything we've seen. Some people think NASA, maybe with a little help from other secret groups, got their hands on this stuff from UFO crash sites or through some sneaky deals with aliens. Just think about what that could mean for us. And then there's talk about NASA making some groundbreaking discoveries, like crazy good propulsion systems or entirely new energy sources. But here's the catch: these breakthroughs might be top secret. Why, you ask? Maybe they want to keep things just the way they are, or they're worried about this tech getting into the wrong hands. There's also this idea that what NASA shows us is just a small part of what they're really up to. Some folks speculate about hidden missions, secret bases on the Moon or Mars, and even close encounters with extraterrestrials in space. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster. Let's chat about some interesting characters in the UFO world. Bob Lazar. This guy's pretty famous in UFO circles. He claimed he was working on reverse engineering alien spaceships near the mysterious Area 51. He talked about the government having a few of these spacecraft and even mentioned using an element called moscovium for propulsion, long before it was officially recognized. Pretty wild, right? Gary McKinnon. He's the British hacker who made the news for breaking into US military and NASA computers. Gary claimed he stumbled upon evidence of a secret space program, including lists of non-terrestrial officers and details about transferring materials between space fleets. It sounds like something out of a Hollywood movie. Paul Hellyer, the former Canadian Minister of Defense turned UFO enthusiast. He's been pretty vocal about governments keeping the reality of UFOs and alien visitors under wraps. Paul believes that aliens have been visiting Earth for a long time and that this is a big secret shared among world governments. Edgar Mitchell, an Apollo 14 astronaut who wasn't shy about his belief in extraterrestrial life and UFOs. He suggested that the government has been hiding info about UFOs for ages, though he didn't have concrete proof to support his claims. Okay, let's start with the grey aliens. Just picture them. They're not very tall, kind of slender with this really smooth grey skin. But the most striking thing about them, their heads are huge, especially compared to their bodies, and they've got these big, almond-shaped black eyes. It's like they're staring right into your soul. And they don't have regular ears or noses, just small openings, and their mouths are super tiny. Ever since the Roswell UFO incident back in '47, these greys have been the talk of the town. They've become a huge part of science fiction, popping up in books, movies, TV shows, you name it. They're basically the face of the whole alien concept. But get this, in a lot of stories and supposed encounters, these greys are super smart and have technology that's way ahead of ours. We're talking about high-tech spacecraft, maybe even telepathic powers, and all sorts of gadgets, often used for mysterious medical procedures. And yeah, there's a lot of talk about abductions, which just adds to the intrigue and, let's be honest, the spookiness. Next up, green aliens. These guys are a bit more like us. Humanoid, you know? They've got green skin and more familiar features like ears, noses, and mouths. Some of them even have antennae or other unique features. Green aliens have been a big part of early science fiction. You've probably seen them in old movies and cartoons, sometimes friendly, sometimes not so much. They might not be as popular as the greys these days, but they're still iconic in their own right. What's cool about them is how versatile they are in stories. Some are just curious about us humans, while others seem to have more, let's say, ambitious plans. It's what makes them such great characters in sci-fi. And now the robot-alien hybrids talk about a mind-blowing concept. Imagine a creature that's part machine, part alien. Some parts of their body are totally mechanical, like something out of a high-tech lab, while others are organic. This idea is huge in science fiction. It's where we play around with the idea of blending biology with technology. And of course, there are all sorts of theories about them, like maybe they're watching us or have some secret mission on Earth. These hybrids are often shown as super intelligent and strong, way beyond what any human or regular machine can do. But emotionally, they're a bit of a mystery. They might not feel things the way we do, which really gets you thinking about what it means to be alive. So what's the deal with NASA and aliens? Well, NASA's pretty straightforward about it. They're like, nope, we haven't found any extraterrestrial life or tech. Their gig is exploring space, looking for any signs of life, but as of now, they haven't stumbled upon any alien spaceships. But of course, that doesn't stop all the talk and theories in the UFO world. Alright, despite NASA saying they haven't found anything alien, the conspiracy theories are buzzing. Some folks are convinced NASA's playing a bigger game, keeping secrets alongside other government bodies. They think NASA's hiding proof of alien visits or even stashing away some high-tech alien gadgets. And when you see weird stuff in NASA's footage like unexplained objects, people are quick to shout UFO. But a lot of these can be explained as just space junk or tricks of the light. Now let's chat about Bob Lazar, a name that's pretty controversial in UFO circles. In '89, this guy claimed he was reverse engineering alien tech at a secret spot near Area 51. He even mentioned working with this mysterious element 115 to power these crafts. He described seeing saucer-like spaceships zooming around like nothing we've got on Earth. But here's where it gets dicey. People have poked holes in Lazar's story, questioning his background and the truth behind his wild claims. Don't forget, the US government's been peeking into UFOs for a while now. Remember Project Blue Book? From the 50s to the 60s, they were all about documenting and analyzing UFO sightings. But in the end, they were like, nothing to see here, folks. Most of the stuff they saw, they could explain, and they didn't find any evidence of little green men in flying saucers. In recent years, UFOs have made a comeback, especially with the Pentagon showing off videos of Navy pilots running into some unidentified aerial weirdness. These clips have got people talking again about aliens and their rides. But the big guys in the government, they're still not signing off on any of these being extraterrestrial. Let's dive into these NASA theories. Some folks reckon NASA astronauts have bumped into UFOs or other bizarre things out there in the vastness of space, but are keeping mum about it. People point to videos that look a bit fishy, strange stuff in space mission photos, or even mysterious comments from astronauts as proof that there's more than meets the eye. Now, onto the really juicy stuff, alien structures on the Moon and Mars. There's talk that NASA's stumbled upon alien buildings or artifacts on these far-off places, but is keeping the pictures under wraps. Imagine that, secret bases on the dark side of the Moon or oddities in photos from the Mars rovers. It's like something straight out of a science fiction novel. And then there's the idea that NASA's got its hands on some super advanced alien tech that's just way out of our league. Think propulsion systems that could totally revamp space travel, or other crazy technologies that could flip our world on its head. One event that gets a lot of attention is the so-called tether incident from 1996. A satellite tether snaps, and the video shows some weird objects floating around. Some say they're UFOs. NASA says they're just ice particles. It's a real head-scratcher. Let's talk about some big names in the UFO scene. Edgar Mitchell, an Apollo astronaut, didn't shy away from talking about his belief in UFOs and aliens. He even went as far as to say that the Roswell Incident was legit and that aliens have made contact with Earth. Then there's Gordon Cooper, another astronaut, who claimed he saw a UFO while piloting a jet, and another sighting at Edwards Air Force Base. And let's not forget Gary McKinnon, the British hacker who broke into NASA and military computers and claimed to have found evidence of a secret space program and UFO tech. But, as intriguing as these theories are, we've got to keep our feet on the ground. A lot of these ideas are based on misunderstandings, a lack of solid evidence, or just plain old misinformation. NASA and other scientific groups have given pretty logical explanations for these supposed oddities, pointing to things like optical illusions or just regular space stuff. And really, with so much information now available to us all and NASA's active search for extraterrestrial life through programs like SETI and Mars missions, it's tough to believe they'd be able to keep a secret this huge. Throughout history, the trajectory of human technological advancement has been somewhat linear. Societies grow, cultures build upon the knowledge of their predecessors, and over time new inventions and methodologies are birthed. This steady march of progress has been charted by historians, sociologists, and scientists alike. But every once in a while there's a hiccup in the timeline, a sudden, almost inexplicable burst of progress. Consider the rapid development of the integrated circuit or microchip. In the span of a few decades, we went from room-sized computers with the computing power of a modern calculator to pocket-sized devices that could access vast swathes of human knowledge. These leaps are fascinating, not only because of the technological marvels they produce, but because they often don't align with the expected progression. Now, to add a sprinkle of cosmic wonder to the mix, let's indulge in the speculative. What if some of these rapid advancements didn't have their origins in human thought? What if, hidden among our countless innovations, some were inspired, tweaked, or even directly acquired from extraterrestrial sources? It's an alluring thought, especially when we consider the pace at which some of these technologies have emerged and the transformative impact they've had on society. One might argue that human collaboration, the globalization of information and cumulative innovation could explain these jumps, and they'd be right for the most part. But isn't there a sliver of wonder, a tiny what-if that might suggest otherwise? After all, in the vast expanse of the universe with its billion of stars and potentially even more planets, could it be possible that we've had a little nudge along the way? Even if this speculation remains firmly in the realm of fiction, the very act of questioning, of wondering, propels us forward. It challenges us to look beyond the familiar horizon and entertain the infinite possibilities that lie beyond. And whether those possibilities are of our making or inspired by something or someone beyond the stars remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time. Human history is punctuated with moments of technological marvels that seem, at first glance, to come out of nowhere. These sudden advances, which defy linear progression, often raise eyebrows and fuel theories about extraterrestrial influences. One particularly enticing area of investigation is the realm of advanced propulsion systems and the anomalous technologies that accompany them. Let's start with the basics: propulsion. Our understanding of propulsion has, for the longest time, been based on Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is the principle that governs everything from the combustion engines in our cars to the colossal rocket engines that send astronauts into space. But in the last few decades, there have been whispers and leaked reports of propulsion systems that don't adhere to this conventional wisdom. The idea of reactionless drives or propulsion systems that function without emitting any tangible exhaust has been a subject of both ridicule and intrigue in the scientific community. Now, onto the anomalies. Over the years, there have been multiple reports, some more credible than others, about materials and technologies that seem to defy the laws of physics. Memory metals, substances that revert to a predefined shape, irrespective of how they've been manipulated, are one such example. These materials, light, flexible, and incredibly resilient, don't align neatly with our current understanding of metallurgy or materials science. Then there's the topic of energy sources. Contemporary human technology is primarily powered by electricity, derived from various sources like fossil fuels, nuclear power, and renewables. However, there have been persistent rumors about devices often linked to unidentified aerial phenomena, powered by energy sources unknown to modern science. These energy sources, seemingly compact, incredibly efficient, and with emissions profiles that are negligible, are a dream for current technological applications. If there's any truth to these speculations, the implications of such an energy source would be revolutionary. Piecing it all together, one could argue that these tech anomalies and whispers of advanced propulsion systems point to a potential outside influence, perhaps extraterrestrial in nature. But without concrete evidence, these remain in the realm of speculation and conjecture. The search for answers continues, but in the meantime, these mysteries offer a tantalizing glimpse into what might be possible, urging us to push the boundaries of our understanding and reach for the stars, both metaphorically and literally. Metamaterials have captured the imagination of researchers and enthusiasts alike, representing a class of materials that exhibit properties not found in naturally occurring substances. What makes metamaterials so fascinating is their unique, almost otherworldly ability to manipulate electromagnetic waves in ways that traditional materials can't. From invisibility cloaks to superlenses that surpass the limitations of conventional optics, the potential applications of these materials seem to border on science fiction. Delving deeper into their structure, metamaterials aren't derived from exotic elements sourced from distant galaxies. Instead, they owe their unique properties to their intricately engineered microstructures. These microstructures, often smaller than the wavelength of light they interact with, give metamaterials their power. By controlling and designing these structures at a microscopic scale, Scientists can manipulate how these materials interact with light, radio waves, and other forms of electromagnetic radiation. The talk of advanced alloys, on the other hand, brings us to a slightly different territory. Alloys, as we understand them, are combinations of metals designed to imbue certain desirable properties. From the bronze of our ancient ancestors to the high-strength steels and superalloys of today, humanity's progress has been marked by our ability to create and harness the properties of alloys. But what if there exist alloys beyond our current comprehension, materials with attributes so unique that they challenge our current scientific understanding? There have been murmurs, especially in the circles focused on unidentified aerial phenomena, about the discovery of unknown alloys. These materials, often associated with unexplained crash sites or encounters, purportedly exhibit properties that cannot be accounted for based on our existing metallurgical knowledge. Whether it's resistance to extreme temperatures, inexplicable lightness combined with strength, or other unique electromagnetic interactions, these alloys represent another piece in the puzzle of potential extraterrestrial technology. While the origins and full capabilities of metamaterials and advanced alloys remain a topic of investigation, their very existence pushes us to question the limits of our technological understanding. It nudges us toward a future where the line between the natural and the engineered, the understood and the mysterious, becomes increasingly blurred, propelling us forward in our quest for knowledge and innovation. In the annals of modern ufology, few events have captured the public's imagination and stoked as much debate as the Roswell Incident of 1947. A seemingly unassuming town in New Mexico became the epicenter of an event that would fuel discussions, investigations, and speculations for decades to come. But what really happened at Roswell? And more importantly, did it have a lasting impact on our technological development? The official narrative is well known. A rancher stumbled upon debris on his property which the US military initially described as a flying disc, before retracting that statement, declaring it the remnants of a weather balloon. Case closed, right? However, the inconsistencies and rapid backtracking in the official narrative only further fueled speculations. Soon, stories began circulating about not just debris, but an actual crashed spacecraft and even extraterrestrial bodies being recovered from the site. But let's dive a bit deeper into the implications of the Roswell incident in the context of technology. There's a theory, albeit largely in the domain of speculative fiction, that suggests some of the materials or technology retrieved from the Roswell site made their way into research labs. These labs, covert and dedicated to reverse engineering, aim to understand, replicate, and perhaps even implement alien technologies into human-made devices. Consider the growth and emergence of stealth technology, advanced propulsion systems, and even the aforementioned integrated circuits. Could it be mere coincidence that these technologies began to gain significant traction after the 1940s? While there's no concrete evidence linking the Roswell incident to these technological advancements, the timing is at the very least intriguing. Furthermore, witness testimonies, although often discredited or brushed aside, have hinted at the potential for technologies beyond our understanding present at Roswell. Whispers of materials that could change shape and composition, or propulsion systems that defied our understanding of physics, continue to circulate. The James Webb Space Telescope is often heralded as the successor to the Hubble Space Telescope, but in reality, its capabilities go far beyond its predecessors. Set to redefine our understanding of the universe, the JWST's conception and the technology that drives it are nothing short of groundbreaking. Designed with the primary mirror spanning 6.5 meters, more than 2.5 times the diameter of Hubble's, the JWST promises unprecedented resolution and sensitivity. However, it's not just the size of the mirror that sets this telescope apart, it's the engineering behind it. Composed of 18 hexagonal segments coated with a thin layer of gold to optimize infrared reflection, these mirrors can be adjusted individually, allowing for in-flight calibrations. This design ensures optimal imaging performance, even after the wear and tear of a launch and deep space operations. The telescope's position is another intriguing aspect. Instead of orbiting Earth like Hubble, the James Webb Space Telescope is set to occupy a location known as the second Lagrange point, or L2, nearly 1.5 million kilometers away from our planet. At this spot, the gravitational forces between the Earth and the Sun, as well as the orbital motion of the telescope, all balance out, allowing the telescope to effectively hover in a stable position relative to the Earth and Sun. This unique position affords it an unobstructed view of the universe, free from the interference of Earth's atmosphere or thermal emissions. One of the driving goals behind the telescope is its quest to capture light from the first galaxies that formed after the Big Bang. By focusing on infrared observations, it can look further back in time than ever before, studying the formation and growth of these ancient galaxies and providing insights into the early phases of the universe. But its infrared prowess doesn't stop there. It's also ideally suited to study the formation of stars and planetary systems, including those in our own Milky Way galaxy. The technologies behind the James Webb Space Telescope raise questions about their origins. Given the massive leap in technological capabilities and the precision engineering required for its instruments, one might wonder, could any of its technological inspirations have roots in knowledge beyond our planet? While there's no direct evidence to suggest extraterrestrial influence, the mere existence of such advanced instruments sparks curiosity and opens the door to endless possibilities about our universe and the technologies we devise to study it. Today, we're tackling a cosmic question that's sure to ignite your imagination. Does NASA have the technology to leave our solar system? Now, when we talk about venturing beyond the familiar confines of our celestial neighborhood, we're not just stepping into the realm of science. We're diving headfirst into the world of incredible possibilities and futuristic dreams. From the far-reaching voyages of the Voyager spacecraft, which have given us a glimpse into the vastness of interstellar space, to the mind-bending concepts of warp drives and antimatter propulsion, the journey to the stars is filled with challenges that are as enormous as space itself. So, buckle up, space enthusiasts, as we embark on this interstellar adventure to discover just how close we are to turning the science fiction of today into the science reality of tomorrow. Today, I'm thrilled to talk about some of NASA's most incredible space missions and the amazing technology they've been developing. Let's dive into this cosmic journey and explore what's out there beyond our blue planet. So let's start with the legendary Voyager missions. These spacecraft, Voyager 1 and 2, were launched way back in 1977. They were originally just supposed to check out the outer planets, but boy, did they exceed those expectations. Voyager 1 actually entered interstellar space in 2012, with Voyager 2 following in 2018. They're like the ultimate explorers, going farther than any other human-made objects in history. And get this, each Voyager has a golden record on board. It's a 12-inch record that's like a time capsule with sounds, music, and pictures from Earth. It's a hello message to any extraterrestrial life that might stumble upon it. Pretty cool, right? Even though these spacecraft are over 40 years old now, they're still sending back valuable info about space, teaching us more about the very edges of our solar system and what lies beyond. Now, these Voyagers are really moving, with Voyager 1 traveling at about 38,000 miles per hour and Voyager 2 at about 35,000 miles per hour. But even at that speed, getting to our closest neighboring star would take over 40,000 years. Talk about a long trip. Their power comes from something called RTGs, or radioisotope thermoelectric generators. These convert heat from decaying radioactive material into electricity. It's a reliable power source, but it won't last forever. Eventually, the Voyagers will go silent as their power runs out. NASA's not just sitting back, they're always pushing the boundaries. Right now, they're focusing a lot on robotic spacecraft for deep space missions. Think rovers and probes. These missions don't need to worry about life support for astronauts, which makes things a bit simpler. Take the Mars missions, for example. The Perseverance rover and the Ingenuity helicopter are doing some groundbreaking work on the Red Planet, helping us understand if Mars could have supported life. And for human space exploration, NASA is working on the Orion spacecraft and the Artemis program, which are all about getting astronauts back to the Moon and eventually to Mars. The New Horizons mission is another big deal. It flew past Pluto, giving us our first close-up look at the dwarf planet. It's powered by an RTG-2 and can send data back from billions of miles away. Then there's the James Webb Space Telescope, which is set to be a game-changer in how we look at the universe. It's got this huge mirror, over 6 meters across, and it's packed with the latest tech to study the universe in infrared. It'll sit at this special point in space, away from Earth's interference, giving us the clearest view yet of distant stars and galaxies. Now let's talk about the mind-boggling challenges of interstellar travel. We're not just dreaming about reaching the stars, we're seriously pondering what it would take to get there. First off, let's wrap our heads around the distance we're talking about. The nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, is a whopping 4.37 light-years away. Imagine this. If Earth were a basketball in New York, Alpha Centauri would be like a tennis ball all the way in Los Angeles. That's not just far, it's astronomically far. Now think about chatting with a spacecraft near Alpha Centauri. A message traveling at the speed of light would take over 4 years to get there and another 4 years to get a reply. That's like sending a text and waiting 8 years for a response. Speaking of speed, our fastest spacecraft, like the Parker Solar Probe, are super fast by Earth standards, but nowhere near fast enough for the stars. Even at 430,000 miles per hour, it would take tens of thousands of years to reach our closest stellar neighbor. And as we ramp up to speeds close to light speed, things get even trickier with increasing energy demands. Thanks, Einstein. The energy needed to push a spacecraft to a significant fraction of light speed is just massive. We're talking about amounts that dwarf our entire planet's energy consumption. Ideas like antimatter propulsion sound cool, but they're still in the realm of science fiction. And then there's keeping astronauts alive and well on these long trips. We need systems that provide everything from air to food, and they have to work perfectly for years, if not decades. Plus, space is a harsh place, full of cosmic radiation, and it's tough on the human body and mind. Think about being cooped up in a spaceship for years. It's not just a physical challenge, but a psychological one too. Space is full of surprises like micrometeoroids and debris. Hitting even a tiny speck at high speeds could be disastrous, so we need some serious shielding. And with communication delays, spacecraft need to be smart enough to steer themselves clear of danger. For deep space missions, propellant efficiency is key. NASA's looking into things like ion thrusters, which could be better for the long haul. And let's not forget sustainability, recycling resources, and maybe even making what we need right there in space. Imagine a spaceship powered by nuclear energy. This isn't your regular rocket fuel. We're talking about nuclear thermal propulsion. It's like heating up a pot of water, but instead, we heat up hydrogen with a nuclear reactor. And then boom, it expands and shoots out to propel the spacecraft. This could make spacecraft go faster and carry more stuff, which is pretty awesome. But of course, dealing with nuclear stuff in space is tricky. Safety is a big deal, especially when we think about launching these reactors without any hiccups. Next up is something straight from a science fiction novel, Project Orion. Way back in the 50s and 60s, scientists thought about pushing a spacecraft by setting off nuclear explosions behind it. Sounds crazy, right? But theoretically, it could have zoomed through space much faster than our regular rockets. However, there was a big snag. A treaty banning nuclear tests in space, and obviously the worry about radioactive stuff and accidents, so that idea was shelved. Now here's a project that's like something from a futuristic movie, Breakthrough Starshot. The plan? To send tiny, super-light spacecraft to the stars powered by massive lasers from Earth. These little guys could potentially zip through space at incredible speeds, reaching our neighboring star system, Alpha Centauri, in just about 20 years. That's lightning fast compared to what we can do now, but it's still in the early stages, working out how to make the perfect light sail and figuring out the laser tech. Let's talk about warp drive, yes, like in Star Trek. This idea is about bending space itself to move a spacecraft. Instead of the spaceship zooming through space, space moves around the spaceship. It's a wild concept that could, in theory, allow us to travel faster than light without breaking the rules of physics. Recent studies have given us some models that kind of fit with what we know about physics, but we're talking about needing some really bizarre forms of energy that we don't even know how to make or control yet. Another theoretical propulsion is antimatter. Imagine a fuel so powerful that just a tiny bit can release a massive amount of energy. That's antimatter for you. When antimatter and matter get together, they annihilate each other, following Einstein's famous ESMC2 equation, and release a huge burst of energy. This could be a game changer for space travel, giving us the kind of boost we need for those really long journeys. But here's the catch, making antimatter is super difficult and crazy expensive. We're talking about trillions of dollars for just a gram. Plus, storing this stuff safely is a huge challenge. It's like trying to keep two ultimate enemies separated. If they touch, they explode. Moving on to something a bit more peaceful, we have solar sails. These are like giant shiny sails that catch sunlight using the tiny push from the sun's photons to move through space. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, actually tested this out with their Ikaros spacecraft, which had a 20-meter wide sail floating in space. The cool thing about solar sails is that they don't need fuel. They just cruise along on sunlight, which could be great for long trips in space. But they don't speed up very fast and aren't too efficient once you get far from the sun. Now let's talk about the M drive. This is one wild concept. It's supposed to generate thrust just by bouncing microwaves around inside a cone-shaped chamber without needing any fuel. Sounds like breaking the rules of physics, right? Well, that's why it's causing so much debate. Some tests claimed they saw it working, but others didn't. Most scientists are pretty skeptical because it doesn't really fit with what we know about physics. So for now, the M drive remains more of a curious idea than a real solution. In conclusion, while these ideas are incredibly exciting and could revolutionize space travel, they also show us how much we still have to learn and develop. From antimatter to solar sails and even controversial concepts like the M drive, we're pushing the boundaries of science and engineering. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe one day, these theories will leap off the pages of science fiction and become real tools for exploring the cosmos. Keep dreaming big and looking up at the stars. The possibilities are endless. Hey there! Today we're diving deep into the vast, infinite cosmos to unravel some of the most chilling and mind-boggling facts about outer space. It's a realm that has intrigued humanity for centuries, but as we learn more, we realize it's filled with phenomena that are as terrifying as they are fascinating. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey to uncover the top 10 scary facts about outer space. When we think about space, we often imagine it as a serene, silent expanse. However, lurking within this tranquility is an invisible threat: deadly radiation. Space is saturated with cosmic rays and solar radiation that can wreak havoc on the human body. Cosmic rays are high-energy particles originating from outside our solar system, while solar radiation is emitted by our sun. These particles are so energetic that they can penetrate the walls of spacecraft and even the skin and bones of astronauts. On Earth, we are protected from these harmful radiations by our planet's magnetic field and atmosphere. But in space, astronauts are exposed to levels of radiation up to 100 times higher than what we experience on the ground. Prolonged exposure to these high levels of radiation can lead to serious health issues, including an increased risk of cancer, cataracts, and neurological disorders. The damage doesn't stop there. Radiation can also interfere with electronic equipment and spacecraft, posing a significant challenge for long-duration space missions. Scientists and engineers are actively researching ways to mitigate the effects of space radiation to ensure the safety of astronauts on future missions. From developing advanced materials for spacecraft walls to creating protective suits for astronauts, the goal is to reduce exposure and shield the human body from these invisible yet deadly particles. Understanding and overcoming the challenge of space radiation is a crucial step in our journey to explore the final frontier. The vacuum of space is not only devoid of air and pressure, but also sound. Sound waves require a medium like air, water, or solid objects to travel through. In the vacuum of space, there is no such medium, resulting in complete silence. This silence of space is a profound experience, starkly different from the constant barrage of sounds we are accustomed to on Earth. Imagine being surrounded by stars, planets, and galaxies, yet enveloped in an absolute silence. This is the reality of space. Astronauts who have conducted spacewalks describe the experience as surreal. They can hear the sound of their own breathing and the hum of their spacecraft, but beyond their suit and the confines of their spacecraft, there is silence. This silent vacuum also plays a critical role in the formation and evolution of celestial bodies. In the absence of air resistance, objects in space can travel at incredibly high speeds without slowing down. This principle is what allows spacecraft to travel vast distances across our solar system and beyond. It also means that space debris, tiny fragments of broken satellites and rockets, can become lethal projectiles traveling at speeds of up to 28,000 kilometers per hour. The Great Void, also known as the Boots Void, is one of the most vast and empty places in our known universe. Discovered in 1981 by astronomer Robert Kirshner and his team, this gigantic space is around 330 million light-years in diameter. To give you an idea of its enormity, our entire Milky Way galaxy is just about 100,000 light-years across. Now imagine a sphere that could fit around 2,000 of our galaxies side by side. That's the Great Void. This colossal emptiness is located in the constellation Bootes, hence its name. Inside this void, there are very few galaxies, around 60, which is shockingly low compared to what we would expect in such a huge volume of space. Normally, in a space this size, we'd expect to find around 10,000 galaxies. The scarcity of cosmic structures in the Great Void makes it a subject of intrigue and mystery. What caused this gargantuan empty space? Some scientists propose that it might be a result of cosmic inflation, a theory that suggests the universe expanded rapidly just after the Big Bang. The vacuum of space is one of the most hostile environments imaginable. Space is not a complete vacuum, but it's pretty close, with only a few hydrogen atoms per cubic meter. On Earth, we live at the bottom of a protective ocean of air, but in space there's virtually no air, which means there's no air pressure. For astronauts, venturing into this vacuum requires state-of-the-art protective gear. Without air pressure, the human body cannot survive. In the vacuum of space, the lack of pressure would cause the nitrogen dissolved in our bloodstream to form bubbles, leading to decompression sickness or the bends. This is the same condition that can affect divers if they ascend to the surface too quickly. Additionally, the lack of atmosphere means that there is no medium for sound waves to travel through, resulting in complete silence. An astronaut could be screaming at the top of their lungs just outside their spacecraft, and it would be completely silent. The vacuum of space also poses a challenge when it comes to temperatures. With no atmosphere to moderate temperatures, space can be extremely hot when the sun is shining directly on an object and frigidly cold in the shade. This stark contrast creates an environment where only the most well-equipped and resilient can survive. The vacuum of space is a constant reminder of the delicate balance of conditions that support life on Earth and the harsh reality of the cosmos beyond our planet. The dark expanse of space is awe-inspiring and breathtaking, but it also holds terrors that are as unfathomable as the universe itself. While the twinkling stars and the serene glide of planets may paint a picture of peacefulness, space is far from a tranquil haven. It is a realm of extremities where temperatures can swing violently and radiation permeates every corner. In this endless darkness, there are black holes, regions in space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape from it. These cosmic behemoths can tear apart stars and swallow entire galaxies. The event horizon, which is the boundary around a black hole, represents the point of no return. Anything that crosses this boundary is irretrievably drawn into the black hole, disappearing from our observable universe. Space is also home to neutron stars, the remnants of massive stars that have exploded in supernova. These stars are incredibly dense, packing a sun's worth of mass into a sphere just a few kilometers in diameter. The gravitational field near a neutron star is so intense that if an object were to fall from just 1 meter away, it would hit the star's surface at around 2,000 kilometers per second. As we turn our eyes to the sky and dream of exploring the cosmos, there is a hidden danger that orbits above us: speeding space debris. Space debris, or orbital debris, refers to defunct human-made objects in space. Old satellites, spent rocket stages, and fragments from disintegration, erosion, and collisions. There are millions of pieces of space debris, and they are traveling at speeds of up to 28,000 kilometers per hour, fast enough to cause catastrophic damage to satellites, spacecraft, and even the International Space Station. The risks posed by space debris are not hypothetical, they are real and present. In 2009, a defunct Russian satellite collided with a functioning Iridium communications satellite, creating thousands of pieces of debris. This event highlighted the growing problem of space debris and the need for sustainable space practices. Cleaning up space debris is a monumental challenge. Unlike pollution on Earth, we can't simply send a cleanup crew to space. The vastness of space, combined with the high speeds at which debris travels, makes capturing or diverting these objects incredibly complex and dangerous. Organizations around the world, including NASA and the European Space Agency, are actively researching and developing technologies to tackle this issue, from nets and harpoons to lasers and robotic arms. Embarking into space means entering a realm where the concept of day and night as we know it on Earth is completely transformed. The prolonged darkness of space is an ever-present aspect of this mysterious expanse, creating a unique and challenging environment for both humans and machinery. In the void of space, sunlight is unfiltered by an atmosphere, resulting in harsh lighting conditions when the sun is visible. Conversely, when the sun is out of view, an impenetrable darkness prevails. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station experience this rapid transition between extreme light and darkness every 90 minutes as the station orbits the Earth. This constant shift can have profound effects on the human body, disrupting sleep patterns and circadian rhythms. The prolonged darkness of space also conceals countless celestial bodies and phenomena. Objects that are not illuminated by a star's light or are too distant for their light to reach us remain shrouded in mystery. This is where technologies like infrared telescopes come into play, allowing us to peer into these dark regions and unveil the secrets they hold. The vastness of space holds a beauty that is unparalleled, but it also embodies a profound sense of isolation. Cosmic loneliness encapsulates the feeling of being amidst the immensity of the universe, surrounded by an infinite expanse of stars and galaxies, yet being profoundly alone. This solitude is not just a philosophical musing, it has real implications for space travel and exploration. Astronauts on long-duration space missions experience this isolation firsthand. Cut off from the familiar sights, sounds, and social interactions of Earth, the loneliness can be overwhelming. Space agencies like NASA have recognized the importance of addressing this psychological challenge, investing in research and support systems to help astronauts cope with the isolation. The question of cosmic loneliness also extends to our search for extraterrestrial life. As we scan the skies with our telescopes and send probes to distant planets and moons, we are also searching for companionship in the cosmos, for signs that we are not alone in the universe. The vast distances between stars and galaxies mean that even if there is other life out there, they may be unreachable, further accentuating the feeling of loneliness. Venturing into space means venturing into the unknown. Space, with its unfathomable distances and extreme conditions, is a realm filled with mysteries and uncertainties. The unpredictable nature of space is evident in various phenomena and challenges that scientists and astronauts must grapple with. One of the most unpredictable aspects of space is its weather. Solar flares, for instance, are sudden eruptions of energy from the surface of the sun, releasing bursts of radiation and charged particles into space. These solar flares can have dramatic effects, disrupting satellite communications and posing serious risks to astronauts in space. Similarly, cosmic rays, high-energy particles from beyond our solar system, can damage spacecraft and pose a significant health risk to astronauts. Another unpredictable aspect of space is the presence of micrometeoroids and space debris. Traveling at incredibly high speeds, these small particles can cause significant damage to spacecraft. The famous Apollo 12 mission, for instance, was struck by lightning just 36 seconds after liftoff, causing a power surge and triggering multiple warning lights and alarms. It was later determined that the lightning had temporarily knocked out the spacecraft's fuel cells, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of space and the challenges it poses. In the grand tapestry of the cosmos, dark energy remains one of the most intriguing and perplexing mysteries. It represents a fundamental unknown in our understanding of the universe, acting as a counterforce to gravity and driving the accelerated expansion of the universe. Despite its pervasive influence, dark energy remains elusive, an enigma that challenges our perceptions and theories about the cosmos. The concept of dark energy emerged from observations of distant supernovae, which revealed that the universe is not just expanding, but doing so at an accelerating rate. This discovery was groundbreaking, as it contradicted the prevailing belief that the universe's expansion should be slowing down due to gravity. To account for this unexpected acceleration, scientists proposed the existence of dark energy, a mysterious force that permeates all of space and exerts a repulsive effect, counteracting gravity. The nature of dark energy is a riddle that has baffled scientists since its discovery. It does not emit, absorb, or reflect light, making it invisible and undetectable through traditional means. It is believed to make up about 68% of the universe, yet its properties remain largely unknown. Some theories suggest that dark energy is a property of space itself, while others propose the existence of a new type of energy field or even modifications to our understanding of gravity.
If it goes through the keyhole, it will hit us, April 13th, 2036. The chances of this now, our data tell us, is several in a million. But there are people who buy lottery tickets with worse odds than that, expecting to win. It'll hit Santa Monica, it'll explode, 50 feet tsunami, 5-story tall, that will come to the west coast of North America and basically wipe it clean.
Imagine cruising through a vast space minefield. That's pretty much what Earth is doing every day. Neil deGrasse Tyson, a big shot in the world of astrophysics, gets the heebie-jeebies when it comes to asteroids. And honestly, it's easy to see why. These aren't just the stuff of epic sci-fi movies, they're real, and they're out there zipping around in space. We're talking about chunks of rock and metal, leftovers from the solar system's early days, some of which could be on a collision course with our planet. But what exactly are we dealing with here? Well, it's a mix. You've got asteroids that are no bigger than pebbles, and then you've got the big kahunas, ones that are the size of mountains or even larger, and they're all just floating around in space, following their paths around the sun. The thing is, their orbits can be a bit like a pinball machine, unpredictable and at times downright dangerous for Earth. These space rocks are fascinating in a way. They're like time capsules holding secrets from billions of years ago when our solar system was just taking shape. But they can also be a bit scary. After all, a big enough asteroid smacking into Earth could be bad news. We're talking about potential global consequences, from tsunamis and earthquakes to climate changes that could really shake up life as we know it. Have you ever thought about the times Earth has played cosmic dodgeball with asteroids? Let's talk about some of Earth's most dramatic run-ins with these space rocks, starting with a biggie, the Chicxulub impactor. Picture this. About 66 million years ago, a giant asteroid, about 10 kilometers across, comes hurtling towards Earth. It crashes into what's now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, and boom! It unleashes energy like billions of atomic bombs, creating a crater 150 kilometers wide and 20 kilometers deep. The aftermath? A global climate shakeup, and about 75% of Earth's species, including the dinosaurs, say their final goodbyes. Fast forward to a more recent event, the Tunguska explosion in 1908. This wasn't a direct hit, but it was still a showstopper. An asteroid or comet fragment, maybe about 50 to 60 meters wide, bursts in the sky over Siberia. The blast, with the power of 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, flattens a whopping 80 million trees across 2,150 square kilometers. That's an area bigger than some major cities. And get this, there was no crater found. Scientists think the object just blew up mid-air, about 5 to 10 kilometers above the ground. The Tunguska event is a bit of a cosmic wake-up call. It showed us that these space rocks can be pretty sneaky and unpredictable. It wasn't like we had a heads up to brace ourselves. This unpredictability is why keeping an eye on the sky for asteroids is super important. You never know when the next big one might make an unwelcome visit. Let's get into the fascinating world of asteroid tracking, where scientists become cosmic detectives. Imagine trying to keep tabs on space rocks cruising through our solar system, some of which might get a bit too cozy with planet Earth. This task is a blend of astronomy, physics, and some serious sleuthing. So how do you track a hunk of rock zipping through space? First, you gotta spot it. Scientists use beefy telescopes, both chilling on Earth and orbiting in space, to catch a glimpse of these celestial wanderers. Once they've got an asteroid in their sights, it's all about measuring where it is, how bright it is, and how it's moving compared to the stars. This info helps work out the asteroid's orbit, speed, size, and where it might be heading. The process, called astrometry, is like celestial cartography, mapping out the positions and paths of these space rocks. But spotting an asteroid is just the start. Predicting where it's going to be in the future is a whole other ball game. It involves some hefty math and computer simulations. Scientists juggle the laws of how celestial bodies move and toss in factors like the pull of gravity from other planets, the asteroid's own twirl and shape, and even how the sun's heat gives it a gentle nudge, something known as the Yarkovsky effect. One of the big players in this game is NASA's Near-Earth Object Observations program. These folks are on a mission to find and track at least 90% of the near-Earth objects out there that are 140 meters or more in diameter, the kind of rocks that could really ruin our day if they hit us. Then there's the European Space Agency's Hera mission, gearing up for a 2024 launch. Hera's going to take a close look at the Didymos asteroid system and its little buddy Dimorphos. It's like a follow-up gig to NASA's DART mission, which is testing out if we can actually shove an asteroid off its course by ramming a spacecraft into it. But here's the kicker. Tracking asteroids isn't a walk in the park. There are loads of them we haven't even found yet, and some are tough to track because they're small, dark, or zipping around super fast. Plus, space is huge, and asteroids are like needles in a cosmic haystack. Have you ever thought about how Earth has had some really close calls with asteroids? These near misses are like nature's warning shots, reminding us that we're just a tiny part of a vast, dynamic universe. Take the Chelyabinsk event in 2013, for example. This was a real eye-opener. A relatively small asteroid, just about 20 meters across, came out of nowhere and exploded over Chelyabinsk, Russia. The blast was massive, releasing energy around 30 times greater than the Hiroshima bomb. It wasn't just a light show, the shockwave broke windows and even damaged buildings, injuring over 1,000 people. It was like a scene from a movie, but very real and pretty scary. This event showed us that even a small space rock can pack a massive punch, but Chelyabinsk isn't the only time Earth had a narrow escape. Let's rewind to 1908, the Tunguska event. An asteroid or comet fragment blew up over Siberia, flattening about 80 million trees over a massive area. It's like Mother Nature showing off her power. More recently, in 2021, we had asteroid 2001 FO32, about 900 meters in size, cruised by Earth. It was 2 million kilometers away, which sounds like a lot, but in space terms it's pretty close. What's tricky about these cosmic wanderers is that they can be hard to spot. They're like stealthy space ninjas, small, dark, or sometimes hidden by the sun's glare. This makes predicting their paths quite challenging. Scientists are constantly on the lookout for these elusive space rocks. Projects like Pan-STARRS in Hawaii and the Catalina Sky Survey in Arizona are like our cosmic watchtowers. They're scanning the skies, trying to spot any potential threats. And then there's NASA's NEOWISE mission, using an infrared space telescope to find asteroids that might be too dark for regular telescopes to see. But here's the catch. Our tech isn't perfect. We're pretty good at spotting the big asteroids, but the smaller ones, like the one that hit Chelyabinsk, can slip under the radar. With millions of these small near-Earth asteroids zooming around, it's a bit like finding a needle in a haystack. Now let's wade into the mysterious world of asteroid impact conspiracy theories. It's a place where wild speculation meets a sprinkle of imagination, and sometimes it can clash pretty hard with scientific facts. These theories have a bit of everything, from hush-hush government secrets to alien shenanigans. One popular tale you might hear whispers about is that governments or big space agencies, like NASA, are sitting on a goldmine of secret info. They supposedly know about a doomsday asteroid on a crash course with Earth, but are keeping it on the down low to prevent mass panic. It's a theory that could be straight out of a thriller movie, but when you shine the light of science on it, it kind of falls apart. Here's the thing. Keeping an eye on asteroids is a huge international effort. We're talking about a network of observatories and agencies all around the globe, constantly watching the skies. Keeping a secret of this magnitude under wraps, highly unlikely. Then there's this other out there idea. Some asteroids zipping through space are actually alien spacecraft or probes under the watchful eye of extraterrestrial beings. It's a theory often fueled by the weird shapes or paths some asteroids take. But in the world of astronomy, these oddities usually have more down-to-earth explanations like natural erosion, cosmic smash-ups, or just the simple tug of gravity. And let's not forget about the theories that suggest some shadowy groups or governments are cooking up secret plans to either weaponize asteroids or use them for some sort of space-age power play. While the idea of redirecting asteroids is a genuine scientific pursuit, the notion of using them as cosmic weapons is more sci-fi than science fact. It's important to remember that these conspiracy theories, as entertaining as they might be, can sometimes cast a shadow over the real, critical work happening in asteroid tracking and planetary defense. This field is all about open collaboration and sharing knowledge. Scientists from around the world team up, share their findings in peer-reviewed journals, and keep databases like the Minor Planet Center up to date with the latest asteroid orbits. Plus, there's Asteroid Day, an annual event where space experts gather to spread the word about asteroids. It's all about education and transparency, showing just how open the field of asteroid research really is. So while it's fun to entertain these space rock conspiracies, the truth is often more grounded and collaborative. It's a global effort where scientists are the real heroes, working hard to keep our planet safe from any unwelcome cosmic visitors. What if I told you that we're actually cooking up plans to save Earth from a Hollywood-style asteroid catastrophe? It's true. Scientists and engineers are working on some pretty cool strategies to deflect a rogue asteroid heading our way. This isn't sci-fi anymore, it's real science in action. Let's start with the big guns, nuclear deflection. Now, this isn't about blowing an asteroid to smithereens like in the movies. Instead, it's about setting off a nuclear explosion near the asteroid to gently push it onto a different path. It's like giving the asteroid a little nudge away from Earth. This could be a game changer for dealing with big asteroids, but it's also a bit controversial. There's the whole unpredictability of nuclear blasts in space and the risk of breaking the asteroid into smaller, yet still dangerous pieces. Then there's this super cool idea called kinetic impactors. Think of it as playing interstellar billiards. We send a spacecraft to smash into the asteroid at high speed, which changes its course. NASA's got this project called DART, the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, where they're actually going to try this out. They're planning to whack a spacecraft into an asteroid's little moon to see if they can change its orbit. It's like a real-life experiment to test out our planetary defense skills. Another nifty idea is the gravity tractor. Picture a spacecraft just hanging out near an asteroid for a long time, using its own gravity to slowly but surely pull the asteroid into a safer orbit. It's a slow and steady approach and less likely to break the asteroid apart. But it's a bit like watching paint dry, it takes a long time. And get this, some folks are thinking about using solar sails or even lasers to push asteroids away. These methods are more about gentle nudges than big shoves. Where could aliens be hiding on our very own planet Earth? It's a question that has fascinated scientists, conspiracy theorists, and curious minds alike for decades. If extraterrestrial beings have indeed visited our planet, where have they managed to conceal themselves from our prying eyes? Let's embark on a journey through the depths of the oceans, traverse the dark side of the moon, float among the clouds, camouflage in the desert, explore the tallest mountains, and delve into areas riddled with anomalies to uncover the possible hideouts of alien life. Diving deeper into the mysteries of our planet, we explore the vast, uncharted territories of the deep sea. It's a world of extreme conditions, with crushing pressures, frigid temperatures, and total darkness. Yet despite these harsh environments, life has found a way to thrive, adapting in the most astonishing ways. But could there be more to these dark, silent depths than meets the eye? Could extraterrestrial beings find refuge in the secluded sanctuaries of our oceans? The deep sea remains one of the least explored areas on Earth, with scientists estimating that up to 95% of the ocean floor remains unseen by human eyes. This vast hidden expanse provides an ideal location for aliens to hide, away from the prying eyes of humanity. The incredible depths and pressures of the deep sea would pose significant challenges to exploration, ensuring privacy and secrecy for any extraterrestrial activities taking place beneath the waves. Moreover, the deep sea is home to some of the most bizarre and alien-like creatures on Earth. From bioluminescent jellyfish to gigantic squid, these creatures have developed unique adaptations to survive in their extreme environments. This biodiversity could be of particular interest to extraterrestrial beings. Studying these life forms to better understand the limits of biological adaptation, and perhaps even to glean insights for their own survival on other planets. Adding to the allure of the deep sea as a potential alien hideout are the numerous underwater anomalies that have been discovered over the years. Sunken structures, mysterious formations, and unexplained phenomena have all been documented, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories about extraterrestrial involvement. Some believe that these anomalies are evidence of ancient alien civilizations, while others suggest that they could be contemporary bases hidden away from the surface world. Venturing beyond our own planet, we turn our gaze to the moon, Earth's closest celestial neighbor. For centuries, the moon has captivated our imaginations, inspiring myths, legends, and scientific inquiry. But it is the moon's dark side, the side perpetually turned away from Earth, that holds the most intrigue and mystery. Could this hidden hemisphere be a secret refuge for extraterrestrial beings? The dark side of the moon is shrouded in mystery, with its rugged terrain, deep craters, and towering mountains. It provides a stark contrast to the familiar face of the moon that we see from Earth. This hidden landscape offers numerous hiding spots for extraterrestrial beings, away from the scrutiny of telescopes and spacecraft. Furthermore, the moon's lack of atmosphere and harsh conditions would make it an unlikely place for humans to stumble upon an alien hideout. The extreme temperatures, radiation exposure, and lack of breathable air create a natural barrier, deterring human exploration and maintaining the moon's secrecy. Despite its inhospitable conditions, the moon holds a strategic position in our solar system. Its proximity to Earth makes it an ideal location for observing and studying our planet, while its distance provides a level of security and isolation. Extraterrestrial beings could utilize the moon as a base of operations, conducting research, gathering resources, or even using it as a staging ground for further exploration into the depths of space. Adding to the allure of the moon as a potential alien hideaway are the numerous anomalies and unexplained phenomena that have been observed and documented. From strange lights and flashes to irregular structures and formations, these mysteries have fueled speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. Some believe that these anomalies are evidence of extraterrestrial activity, while others suggest that they could be natural occurrences, misunderstood due to our limited knowledge of the lunar environment. Now let's cast our eyes upward, beyond the boundaries of land and sea, and delve into the boundless expanse of the sky. The clouds, with their ever-changing shapes and sizes, provide a mesmerizing and, possibly, an ideal hiding place for extraterrestrial beings. Imagine beings or even entire ships concealed among the clouds, observing us from a safe distance, completely undetected. The idea might sound like something straight out of a science fiction novel, yet when we think about it, the sky is vast and often goes unobserved. Most of us only take a passing glance at the sky, unaware of its potential secrets. Clouds can cover entire cities, and their thickness can make them impenetrable to the human eye. It's within this shroud of mystery that aliens could find the perfect camouflage. Moreover, there are phenomena in the sky that we still don't fully understand, such as ball lightning, strange cloud formations, and unexplained lights. These anomalies have, on numerous occasions, been linked to potential extraterrestrial activity. Could it be that these unexplained phenomena are actually signs of alien life hiding in plain sight? On top of that, there have been countless reports of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, emerging from or disappearing into clouds. These accounts, coming from people from all walks of life, including reputable pilots and astronauts, add an intriguing layer to the theory of extraterrestrial beings using clouds as cover. Turning our attention back to Earth, we find ourselves amidst the vast and arid expanse of the desert. With its extreme temperatures, scarce water supply, and harsh living conditions, the desert might seem like an unlikely place to find extraterrestrial life. However, it is precisely these harsh conditions that could make the desert an ideal hiding spot for aliens. Deserts cover about 1/3 of the Earth's land surface, providing a vast area for potential extraterrestrial activity to go unnoticed. The desolation and lack of human presence in these areas offer a level of seclusion that is hard to find in other habitats. The ever-shifting sands of the desert can conceal anything beneath them in a matter of minutes, making it an excellent location for aliens to hide their bases or technology. These hidden sites could serve as observation posts, research facilities, or even shelters for extraterrestrial beings studying Earth. Additionally, deserts are home to a plethora of mirages and optical illusions caused by the bending of light rays in the hot air. These illusions could serve as a natural form of camouflage for extraterrestrial beings, allowing them to hide in plain sight. Adding to the mystery are the numerous unexplained phenomena and anomalies associated with deserts around the world. From the mysterious moving rocks of Death Valley to the unexplained structures visible in satellite imagery, these have baffled scientists and researchers for decades. Could these phenomena be linked to extraterrestrial activity hidden beneath the sands or disguised as natural features of the landscape? Venturing into the towering realms of the world's mountain ranges, we find landscapes teeming with mystery and seclusion. The rugged terrains and harsh climates of these areas have long deterred human intrusion, making them an intriguing prospect for potential extraterrestrial hideouts. Think about it, the vast stretches of uninhabited land, coupled with the natural shielding provided by the mountains, create an almost impenetrable fortress. Stories and legends of unexplained phenomena in mountainous regions are as old as time itself. From the Himalayas to the Andes, people have reported sightings of strange lights, unidentified flying objects, and even encounters with beings not of this world. These accounts, often dismissed as folklore, hold a persistent place in the cultural tapestry of these regions, suggesting that there may be more to these mountains than meets the eye. Moreover, The mountain ranges are riddled with caves and underground passages, some of which have yet to be fully explored. These hidden crevices provide ample opportunity for extraterrestrial beings to establish concealed bases far from prying human eyes. The difficulty in accessing these areas means that any alien activity could remain undetected for centuries, if not longer. Interestingly, many of these mountain ranges are also hotspots for magnetic anomalies and unexplained electromagnetic activity. Instruments go haywire, compasses spin out of control, and electronic devices malfunction without apparent reason. Could these anomalies be indicative of extraterrestrial technology at work, subtly interfering with our own? Now let's shift our focus to the icy expanse of Antarctica, a continent shrouded in mystery and extreme conditions. With temperatures plummeting to as low as -90 degrees Celsius and winds that can reach up to 200 miles per hour, Antarctica is undoubtedly one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Yet it is these very conditions that might make it an appealing hideout for extraterrestrial beings. The vast ice sheets and glaciers of Antarctica conceal what lies beneath, and recent discoveries have revealed lakes and even mountain ranges hidden under miles of ice. This hidden world, untouched by humans, provides a blank canvas for potential alien activity. The sheer isolation of Antarctica, combined with the extreme conditions, ensures that any bases or technology hidden beneath the ice would remain well protected and concealed. Moreover, there have been numerous reports and conspiracy theories surrounding UFO sightings and mysterious phenomena in Antarctica. Some have even suggested that the continent is home to ancient alien bases, buried beneath the ice for thousands of years. While there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, the allure of Antarctica's icy desolation makes it a compelling candidate for extraterrestrial activity. Intriguingly, Antarctica is also a place of scientific anomalies, with researchers recording unexplained changes in gravity, bizarre weather patterns, and mysterious sounds emanating from the ice. These phenomena have puzzled scientists for years, and have led some to speculate about potential alien involvement. So, as we ponder the question of where extraterrestrial beings could be hiding on our planet, we find that from the seclusion of the mountains to the frozen fortress of Antarctica, our world is filled with enigmatic landscapes that could potentially harbor alien life. These remote and inaccessible places challenge us to look beyond the obvious and consider the possibilities of what might be hiding just out of sight. And as always, I hope you enjoyed our video today. Thanks for watching.